You're up, brother.
Hey, Jeff.
I like the hat back there. You know, the devil hitting the horns and the fuzzy.
It's
fuzz.
a devil and a halo.
Oh, it's a halo.
It's just
Whatever it is, I like it.
The devil horns and the fuzzy fuzz and
Fuzzy fuzz.
Is it not devil horns and a halo?
That's exactly what it is.
So you're just very confused.
I couldn't decide. I said, why not both?
Hey, why not?
Well, I'll tell you why if you really want to know.
identity crisis.
Now I want to know.
I'm confused just looking at you.
See what you did?
That's
Even the mic is confused.
So my question is, you said that the Winchester brothers are cursed. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that all the mirrors were broken in Bloody Mary?
Yes, but that would have only lasted for 7 seasons.
That's true.
Yeah. So we're out of that period now. It must have been something else
A
we
while
did.
ago.
That's why it's been rosy since season 8, right?
Right.
That's pretty funny. I never thought about that.
We broke multiple mirrors, so
We did. Did they compile? If you break 2?
Oh, it's so for every mirror you break is in 7 years.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, then we're screwed. That's. I think you nailed it.
Stop breaking mirrors and this show could end before you're 97. It could end on a happy note.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Woo! The mirror thing's behind us.
Supernatural. The senior years.
Do you know how many we broke?
that's super wiki.
A lot, right?
If I remember correctly, it was more Sam that broke them. Just saying.
That's why you can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's why we don't have nice things. That's true.
I'm gonna go with my boy in the back, white shirt. Yes, sir.
I just want to say that it was awesome when you guys made your separate horror movies, My Bloody Valentine and Friday the 13th. I have both of them on DVD.
Oh, no way. Thank you.
And my question is for Jensen. In the first 2 seasons, your voice is really high.
His balls dropped. I can answer this for him.
Yeah, it's called puberty.
So it wasn't you. You didn't do that purposely. It was you changed.
No, actually, I'm glad you asked that because the reason I now have medical issues with my throat is
Misha does.
is because this guy, I thought, okay, well, Dean looks up to his father so much, and Jeff had this very kind of baritone, deep voice. And I thought from a character standpoint, I'm like, well, that's where he needs to end up at some point. So I started lowering the register kind of slowly and slowly.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what started it. And then as I course, as I got older, my voice just naturally kind of got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so what's funny now, because I think it was last year, I was the same age as he was when he did the pilot, and I was like, oh, okay, this must have been what it felt like to have this voice.
To have puberty.
Yeah, to hit puberty at the age of 35. Yes, but originally it was a conscious effort to kind of follow his lead, and it's just kind of led me to here. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, and then Jared didn't want to be left in the dark or left behind, so he was like, well, wait, if you're going low, I'm going low.
Exactly. And to be on the show with Jensen, who's using his low register, Mark Shepard, who's like, well, like, what are you? Misha doing his casting.
I'm raging from perdition.
I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I just have a normal voice. Like,
Am I supposed to like, dude, what's up, dude?
Like, so I don't know. It's been a fun show to be on.
The original
I feel like the soprano of the cast.
The original tagline of the show was save me, hunting things, save me people, the family business. So I said that in season 1, that tagline. They used that tagline for promos for years. I had to, I think it was a year or two ago, I had to go back and re-record that line.
Because your voice had changed.
Because it was like, hunting thing, saving me with the moon. And so I had to re-record it so that they could use it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Ackles, you're up.
How about right here in the aisle? Yes.
Did you break it again?
Stop touching your microphone. Stan.
Good morning. First
Good
of all,
morning.
congratulations on your growing families.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a creative question.
Wait, do you know something I don't know?
Yeah. Congratulations.
It all still works, apparently.
Yeah, and Jared, Jen's pregnant too, by the way.
Ooh, awkward.
You're telling me.
Demon baby.
I have a creative question. The music on the show is really an integral part.
Are you guys done messing around?
Damn it. I've been here for 10 minutes trying to get this question off.
The music on the show is really an integral part of the storytelling.
Yeah.
Who chooses that? Is it a writing thing, a directing thing? And is there a song that hasn't been on the show yet that you guys would like to hear?
I mean, a dozen songs that I'd like to.
There's some music that is dictated by the script that they write in to the script. That's pretty rare, but it has happened a few times. Most of the music that is put into the show is done in post-production by our post-production executive producer Phil Segricha, who is a music fanatic. So I'm glad he has that responsibility. I think he's done a great job over the past 13 years with it. And it's often, a lot of it is often dictated by what we can afford by the end of the production, because certain money is allocated for the production of the episode, and whatever money is left over, they usually try to use that to buy music, and music is expensive. So there's a lot of music that we would like to use that there's not money in the budget for. So we kind of have to pick and choose, but that's generally where that ends up. It's in the hands of the post-production folks.
I would love, for the last episode of the show, I don't know what the song is called. It might be called "This Is the End" or "The End" by The Doors.
Yeah.
I would love for that to like send us away. Might do it.
I think after 12 years, though, the supernatural is such a phenomenon that I feel like bands now, especially because you guys play classic rock and roll, and I think a lot of these bands, it's a huge honor to
You know what's
be
funny?
part of the supernatural
Did you
world.
hear about our?
Dude, the Kansas thing?
Yeah.
I watched it. I wasn't there in person, but I watched the whole YouTube video.
It was insane.
It was
And there were
the coolest
two.
thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
A, with Kansas on stage, and then B, we had tried for years to use Metallica, but it's not even a money thing. They just don't like
They don't like their music.
They don't like their music being used for TV
things.
shows for whatever reason, which is fine. But they let us use "Nothing Else Matters" at Comic-Con for a recap. Like they finally after 12 years were like, yeah, cool, use it. And so it wasn't even a money thing.
Yeah, they were like,
That's
like,
just
you guys are cool. You can use the music. They're like, wait, Metallica's gonna let us use their music? That means they actually know who we are. Think we're like worthy enough.
We're
which is
finally
awesome.
we're finally made men.
Yeah.
And it really is the best soundtrack on television. I think that's
It's
stuff you
fantastic.
guys
Yeah,
make. So
they've done a great job.
and that was Kripke originally, right?
Other than AMC.
I mean, other than AMC. AMC.
Oh, yeah, AMC for life.
Thank you very much,
Jeff, you're up.
I was gonna say, girl wearing the flannel. That doesn't really fucking help at all. Yeah.
30 people sitting there.
Yeah, you're right.
If y'all thought he was lying about being blind, the only eye that works is apparently like 12 degrees to the left.
Well, here's the thing. I got lights shining in my eyes there, and so I can't see any of y'all. So I got this section.
If you want Jeff to ask you a question, you gotta stand just about.
All right, don't rub it in.
Hi.
Hi. Well, Okay, my question is, who do you guys think would win in a fight, Negan or John Winchester?
Ooh. John Winchester.
Does John Winchester have his Colt?
Sure?
Yeah.
Well, if he has you can't bring a bat to a gunfight.
No, alright then, hand to hand.
All right.
I mean, although Negan does.
No weapon,
Well,
hand to hand.
what is Negan's like background?
He was a teacher. He was a physical education teacher.
Right. John was a Marine,
Yeah.
right?
It's an excellent point. The difference,
He was an English teacher.
yeah, PE teacher. Hey, he taught ping pong. But I think there's also a difference in the mentality. I think that Negan is a little bit butt crazy, and I think John had a bigger head on his shoulders. So Negan is the guy that's going to kick you in the balls, whereas John would be like, I'll shake your hand before I'll kill you. That might be enough for Negan to kick him in the balls and take him out.
Yeah, crazy is always an X factor.
Crazy is an X factor.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Thank
Good
you.
question.
And Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan was an English teacher. Remember? They had that going? Like, what do you think I did?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And finally he's like, I was an English teacher.
Just all sorts of fun facts.
There you go.
Tom Hanks, English teacher. Jensen, voice dropped.
It's not all that dropped.
On that note, thank you guys.
That's it, guys. Thank you.